Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Timeless, we timeless now.
Wake your ass up, fool. Johnjay and Rich. What's crack-a-lackin'? This is the big boss dog. Snoopy Deagle Double Jizzle. Bang, boom. What you gonna do? Johnjay and Rich. We're not talking about Ren 1010. We're not talking about Lassie. It's the one and only dog, y'all. The classy, sassy, big Snoop Deagle Double Jizzle. In your face to be and in the place to be. And you're listening to Johnjay and Rich. Wake your ass up.
Johnjay and Rich. Call us at 877-937-1047. Text us. Text JJR. Whatever you want to say to the number 96893. I was in Atlanta, in ATL, a couple days ago. And a lot of stuff happened. But one of the stories I want to tell you about is going through security check, TSA. And I had a carry-on bag and I had a backpack full of stuff. And I'm kind of going through this. I haven't really explored it or said that much about it on the air, but I'm really liking to make my own trail mix. Right?
Okay.
Right? And I like to make my own trail mix with whatever we have in the house. I haven't gone to just go to Sprouts, my wife. Go to Sprouts and take all. No, I want to do it like whatever is in the house kind of deal.
Well, what would that be?
Just like cashews and then almonds and pistachios and maybe some raisins. Just whatever's in there. And I usually put it in one of those plastic bags. It's like a gallon. It's huge, and I put it in my backpack, and that's what I snack on the plane. And so I was going through security, and I got buzzed. They do that thing where they go, whose bag is this? I was like, that's mine. And the guy goes, we're going to have to rescan your nuts, and we're going to have to rescan your bag. And all by myself, I was like, rescan my nuts, rescan my bag. Hilarious. And the guy just looks at me.
Did you say it out loud?
He said it out loud.
No, did you say it out loud?
Yeah, I said it out loud because that wasn't the way he said it was so much like that's what she said. You know what I mean? Like it was so out loud. But anyway, and then I went to Atlanta. So I landed in Atlanta, and I was going to this event at this guy's house, and it was an hour-and-a-half drive out of Atlanta in a little town called Rome, Georgia.
Never heard of.
It's the kind of town where Jack Reacher would fight the police, right? It's a small town. And I was there by myself, and I was staying at this Holiday Inn, which was in the middle of nowhere. Like, it looked like serial killers. It looked like the Long Island Gone Girls Express, like where all the bushes were in the marsh.
Yeah.
It was just like I was in the middle of nowhere. And I called my wife, and I was like, this is like kind of scary. I go, but it's like 8 o'clock at night, and I haven't eaten yet. And it's 3 hours ahead, right? So I'm driving to look for a place to eat. And there's an Outback Steakhouse to my left. And I've been to Outback 100 times. I love Outback. And I'm going to go there. And I look to my right, and there's a Texas Roadhouse. And I'm like, I've never been there. Let me just experience that. Maybe something new will happen. And I've never been to Texas Roadhouse. And I walk in, and the lady goes, how many in your party? And I go, it's just me. She goes, okay. And then she goes, would you like to pick out a steak? And I was like, what? She goes, you just pick out one. And there's a window with a whole bunch of ribeyes and New York strips, whatever. And I go, what do you mean pick out a steak? Pick out a steak, and we'll cook it for you. And I'm like, is this normal? I was like, yeah, I'll take this one. And she gives me this little ticket, right? She gives me a little ticket. She goes, give this to your server, and it'll match your steak, and you get your steak. So I sat down, and I gave the server my ticket, and then she brought me out the steak, and it was freaking fantastic. And I took pictures, and I had the bread and the sides, and I was like, this is great. I got to go back here. And I text my wife, call my wife, I go, do we have these in our town?
Everywhere.
And she's like, yeah. So when I got back to the mainland of Arizona, first thing I said, we got to go to Texas Roadhouse. So I tell my wife and my kids, we got to get in the car and we go to Texas Roadhouse. And I'm like, watch, when you walk in, they take you to the window and have you pick out a steak. So I walk in, and I got all nervous, and I went online, and I made a pre-reservation. You get in line to get the table. You know what I mean? I get there, and there's no problem. There's no whatever. So I get it. As soon as we walk in, they walk us past the window steak to our booth. And I'm like, hey. I go, aren't you going to ask me to pick out a steak? She goes, oh, if you want to. I'm like, what do you mean if I want to? I go, I was at the one in Georgia, and they made a big deal about me picking out the steak. They're like, oh, do you want to do that? Well, I'm already sitting down. Forget it.
No.
I know.
Presentation was totally different.
Totally different, man. But it was still delicious. It was fantastic.
I know. I read something today. Texas Roadhouse replaced Olive Garden as America's top fast casual restaurant.
It's my
or
favorite
whatever.
restaurant.
Casual dining.
I wanted to go back there last night. My wife didn't want to go back.
I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like
the
there's-
bread there is amazing.
There's always a line, right?
No, there wasn't.
I've
That's what I'm
never-
saying.
I feel like
You
there's
got
always
lucky.
a line at Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
I've been to Texas Roadhouse a million times. They've never asked me if I wanted a steak.
You got to go to the one in Georgia
I
then.
guess so.
They have them all sitting there in a window,
I
right?
guess you just have to ask, maybe?
I don't know. I've only been twice, and the first time they gave me a ticket and had me pick out what steak I
What's
wanted.
the steak that you got that was amazing?
I got the biggest one they had. The one they had there was a 22-ounce ribeye. I got that one. The one here, they only had a 16-ounce.
Oh,
How
see,
dare
yeah,
you.
Georgia's got it down.
dare you.
Georgia's Texas Roadhouse. Imagine what it would be like in Texas.
So then, by the way, and I was texting with Nick, our producer, about this because Nick's wife works for Cochlear. Is that how you say it? Cochlear, the implants, hearing implants.
Yeah.
And remember, Lou Frigno was in here, and he's a spokesperson for it. So I get on the plane to fly back from Atlanta here, and there's two seats. I got my seat, and I'm all excited because it's not Southwest, so that means I don't have to stress. I have a seat, right? So when I get on the plane to get to my seat, there's a woman there, and she's sitting next to me, and she has a humongous German Shepherd with her, humongous, and it says "Do not pet," right? I'm like, oh man, like it's one of those therapy dogs.
It's almost like so irresistible. Like, how do you
Right.
not pet the dog?
Right. And it's just her and I. There's just two seats, her and I. Her German Shepherd is taking up, like, where my feet go. Right? And so I'm kind of like, okay, I love pup. I get it. I love dogs and stuff. But, shouldn't it be a smaller dog? Or
Probably.
Should you be sitting somewhere else? And then she gets up and she says, I can hear her voice's little different accent, kind of. I can't place it just yet. And she goes, is it better for you if you sit on the aisle? And I'm like, well, no, I want a window because I want to sleep. And then she goes, huh? It turns out she points to her ears and she has the cochlear implant. She goes, I'm deaf. She says, I'm deaf with the deaf accent, kind of, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm like, I'm going to chill out. So I sit down. The dog is at my feet. She starts to open up a book and read her book on it's Hitler. The Mein
Kampf.
Yeah, whatever, right? And I'm like, this is so weird.
Yeah, it's a little.
Right? Like, do you read that in public? I don't know, right? It's a big book with hits.
What is it about? Is it like a...
It's like his manifesto.
Oh,
Yeah, right?
odd.
So she's deaf. Her dog is taking the place where my feet go, and she's reading this thick book on Hitler. Then she puts the book down, opens up Facebook, and I'm trying to I lean back trying to read what she starts posting. She's frantically posting something on Facebook about our government. And I'm like, so I'm taking pictures. I'm sending it to Nick. I go, what the hell's going on here, man?
That's weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And then because the dog's at my feet, it's a 3.5 hour flight. I have no room, so I put my seat back a little. I have to. Then the lady behind me starts punching my seat.
Oh,
And I'm like, I would only move my seat back because the dog is taking my space. It was
You
such
would have been better off on Southwest.
it was so frustrating.
Right?
It
Yeah.
was so frustrating.
You could have gotten yourself an
I wanted
exit
to
row.
complain. It was on Delta. I wanted to complain to Delta, but then I was like, I felt bad. This woman, she's
Yeah.
deaf.
Right.
She's
Needs
got
a
everywhere
dog.
she goes. She needs a dog. But
Yeah.
damn, man, I don't know what the dog. I mean, it's not like the dog can talk to her.
It's like, he said he's going to take the window. The dog's not going to say that.
It was
I
just
had him. He said he's taking the window.
It was a weird experience, man. But let me tell you, guys.
Did you have a life-changing experience in Atlanta? Because you haven't really talked about what you were doing there.
Oh yeah, so I got invited to go to this thing from this guy. His name is Jesse Itzler. You guys ever heard of him? His wife is the one that invented Spanx.
Okay.
You ever heard of Spanx?
Yeah, of course.
And he invented Zico coconut water, and he invented Marquis Jets, and he's a huge motivational speaker, and he speaks all over, and he's great. And him and I have been DMing each other for about 8 or 9 years, and he had this event that had to do with, it was just sauna and cold plunge. That's all it was.
Oh, that's right up your alley.
Sauna and cold plunge all
You could
day.
have hosted
and
that.
it was at his house. And it was like great. And I went, and there was about probably under 30 people. They said 30, but I think it was less than 30 people. And it was all these young entrepreneurs and all these business people that all own, amazing things. And from pre-workout, to electrolyte companies to hotels to all this stuff.
Right up your alley.
It was funny because I was there for the sauna.
Yeah.
They were there to pick his brain because there were many
networking.
Yeah, it was a lot of networking because there were many moments where he would just sit down and talk to you about his life. Like he tells the story of when his wife got wired the $1.2 billion when she sold her company.
Ooh,
like
that's insane.
What that was like to see the wire. Bing. Like if you watched White Lotus season finale last night, the girl at the end, she gets $5 million. I don't know if I ruined anything, but
spoiler alert.
You're watching her go to her bank account to refresh, and she got $5 million. They did that. It got $1.2 billion.
Wow,
right?
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It was a crazy, but it was pretty much priceless. I love spending time with the guy. Now he's coming here. I'm gonna meet him for a smoothie before he speaks here.
Right on.
Yeah,
we should have him on a podcast.
Yeah, oh, that's happening.
Okay,
I already confirmed that too.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Yeah, because I had nothing else. Everyone else was like trying to pitch in products and stuff.
Yeah.
And then when it was my turn to get locked, I had so much anxiety that everyone get up and tell you about yourself.
Oh, that didn't kill you.
And this is what I was trying to tell you guys last week. I signed up for something I normally wouldn't do.
Right.
Like my wife was very excited that I stepped out of my zone, my comfort zone, to go do this event, and I only did it because I was on no sleep when I agreed to it. Right? Like I can't tell you how many times I tried to cancel before I went to this event, but I'm really glad I did.
That's good.
Yeah. What's coming up? 3 things you need to know, Kyle.
You may not be able to pay your friends on your favorite app anymore. I'll tell you why next with Johnjay and Rich.
Call the show and join the fun. 877-937-1047.
Kicking it with Johnjay and Rich.
Hey, I put on my Instagram stories pictures of the dog in the Hitler book that I just talked about from my point of view on the plane, so you can see the dog in my space. So if you go to Instagram, John J. Van S, you can see the pictures. Also, Peyton and Kadeem did the couples podcast. It dropped yesterday. So wherever you get our podcast, John J. and Rich on demand, you can hear Peyton and Kadeem. I have about 9 minutes left of the podcast. I'm enjoying it so far. Peyton, nice job.
Oh, thanks.
I heard the whole thing. I think you sound very cute. The way you talk about your man.
Oh.
And the way you talk to your man is very cute.
Yeah.
He does not talk hardly at all.
Yeah, I know.
Kyle, what are 3 things we need to know?
TikTok hasn't sold to a U.S. buyer yet, but over the weekend, you may have noticed your TikTok was still working and it wasn't banned. That's because President Trump extended the deadline for them to do that once again, saying a potential deal to avert the ban just requires more work. There's a bunch of buyers obviously interested in striking a deal like Amazon, Oracle, Apple, and Blackstone. They all want in. But the Chinese government also has to approve the deal before it can go ahead. So the plan is in motion. And we still get to have our fun TikToks in the meantime. The most storied program in women's college basketball, UConn, won its 12th national championship yesterday, dethroning South Carolina 82-59. When it comes to the men's championship, the Final Four is down to the Final Two. The Florida Gators will take on the Houston Cougars in the men's final tonight.
Can I tell you something about that? One of the ties, the Florida Gators. Do you guys know anything about this story with the coach?
Mm-mm.
He played basketball at Sunny Slope.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. That's
He's
cool.
from here.
That's pretty cool.
He's from here. Then he went to San Francisco. And now he's the head coach of the. It's freaking amazing. I love those kind of stories.
Me
where,
too.
You know, so he's like 30 or something like that.
I didn't root for them. I didn't really have a dog in the fight, but now I'm like,
Right.
Go Gators.
I know.
I cried when I watched the women's championship yesterday. Though.
Aw,
like a
that's-
little baby, because it just
Bring you back to your college
it really
basketball
didn't.
days.
And it just made me so mad. I wish I worked harder in high school or in college. I'm like, dang, that could have been me.
Let that be a lesson to any high schoolers or
Yes.
college ballers listening. Now, if your friend brings you coffee or paid for your dinner, you want to send them some money on the Zelle app, you're kind of out of luck. Person-to-person money transfers are no longer available through Zelle, their standalone mobile app.
That's weird.
You can now access the service through your own bank's website. It's still the Zelle service, but you have to go through your bank's mobile app. I know it's kind of weird, but apparently Zelle always had the idea to go through banks' apps and whatnot, but they created the app as a backup in case the banks didn't buy into the service. Nice. And most banks have bought into the service. Mine hasn't, but...
Oh, really? I'm like, Zelle is the best.
Yeah.
When you said that, I was worried that Zelle was going to be gone forever.
Yeah, if your bank is in on Zelle, you should still be fine. You'll just do the same thing through your own bank's mobile app. So I know a lot of people had freaked out over that, but yeah, don't worry. If you're there, you're good. And that's 3 things you need to know.
Let's get to Peyton's predictions. Peyton, what's the vibe today?
I'm going to be talking to you about what your late night thoughts are based on your zodiac sign.
Abby, good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on?
I'm
What's your sign?
Aquarius.
Okay, Abby, so when it comes to you and your late night thoughts, Aquarius, you're inventing a new app in your mind, you're questioning the simulation, and suddenly you're crying about the state of the world. Your thoughts are quirky, brilliant, and slightly unhinged in the best way. So when you're in those late night thoughts, you're not sleeping, you're unlocking new levels of existence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, my little weirdos are my Aquariuses for sure.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Abby. What's up, Mike?
Good morning. Rolling with you, Johnjay, Virgos.
All right, Virgos. Virgo, your late night thoughts are basically a productivity boot camp. You're just organizing your thoughts. You're planning your day down to the minute, and you're critiquing past decisions like it's Yelp. You want sleep, but your brain wants bullet points and perfection, and you give overachiever energy when you can't sleep.
Guessed it again. Baby.
Hey.
Guessed it again.
That's what I do.
Have a blessed day.
Thanks, Mike.
Hi.
How about Libras?
Yeah, Kyle, my Libra. When it comes to late nights, it's 2 a.m. and you're still mentally trying to respond to that one text. You're out here rethinking an outfit that you didn't even wear, planning your dream wedding, and wondering if you should change your entire vibe. It's indecision, but make it fashion for my Libras when you're up late at night.
Your mind does wander.
Yeah, all over the place.
Well, then what am I going to wear tomorrow?
I feel that.
How about for Pisces?
Pisces, Richie is my Pisces. You are fully immersed in fantasy. You've imagined 3 alternative universes, written a love story in your head, and now you're vibing to this sad playlist like you're in an A24 film. You escape reality harder than any of the other signs when it comes to your late night thoughts.
I wish I was that deep. I definitely think about songs, though.
Okay.
To the point where I go, I got to turn off the radio. Like, oh, it's not on.
Oh, okay.
That's how deep I get into the song.
Dang.
Good morning, Harper. What's your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
All right, Harper, when you're up late at night, your brain just goes into detective mode. So you're deep diving through emotional things, you're plotting revenge, or maybe low-key stalking someone on Instagram or something. So you might be spiraling or healing or both. You're intense, mysterious, and probably the reason someone else can't sleep at night.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Hey, Reggie.
Hey, Johnjay.
What's your sign, Reggie?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius, so when it comes to your late night thoughts, you are just Googling flights to Bali, deciding to quit your job, and then mentally planning a van life road trip all before 3 a.m. Your brain doesn't rest, it just roams. Your thoughts are a highlight reel of wild dreams, deep conversations, and random philosophical tangents.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot lately.
Yeah.
I've been trying to go to bed.
That's the worst when you're just trying to sleep and your brain just keeps on going, doesn't turn off.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Reggie. How about for Leos?
Leos, when we're up late at night, we're laying in bed like it's our own personal stage. We are reliving every compliment that we got earlier in the day, imagining our Vogue cover shoot, and planning a soft launch post with a maximum slay. Our brain at night is full glam, dramatic, and never boring.
Okay, if we didn't get to your sign, they're all posted on our website, johnjayandrich.com. One of the things I did also when I was in Atlanta, when I told you I was at this, I don't know if you want to call it a retreat, a sauna retreat. Does that make sense what it was? There were 3 saunas there. There was a hot tub and a cold plunge and a swimming pool. And you would sauna for 20 minutes in this big sauna, right? And then you would go into the pool, jump in the pool, then you could cold plunge, hot tub, and then go back in the sauna. And they had a wood sauna. And then they had these 2 portable saunas that I thought were really, really interesting. So I was asking about those saunas. And those saunas are for sale. Like you can, like a lot of people, your saunas are catching on. Everyone wants a sauna. Right?
Portable sauna?
Portable.
Okay,
so
what's that?
It was
What is
really
that?
interesting. So like, it's like a tent. It's like a tent, but you have a hardwood floor. And then you have the rocks and the steam. So it's not like infrared sauna.
Okay.
It's like the old school, like.
Well, that's all the research anyway. Is all
Right, from these kind of saunas.
Yeah.
And so you can buy them. And I said, how long does it take to put in your house? And the guy goes, like 10 minutes. Like 10 minutes? So you can build a sauna in your backyard. So if you want, then it's All Day Sauna Company or All Day Sauna Co. All Day Sauna.
Did you get in one?
I got it. I got in one.
And it
Yeah.
works just the same?
Oh, my, it's really hot. Like my sauna is an infrared sauna, and that gets to 175 degrees.
That's hot.
These are a minimum of 200. Yeah, it was a whole different ball game. Let me tell you something. It's a whole different
You
ball
were
game.
in there for 20 minutes?
I was there all day. That's why it's called All Day Sauna. I was in there all day. It was such a fascinating thing. So then I'm telling my wife everything. You kind of brought this up a little bit ago. And my wife was like, you should do something like that at our house, because this guy Jesse did it at his house, right? He had people at his house.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you could teach a class on that.
Sounds like Johnjay's nightmare.
it does. But I also thought, because he had 30 people there and he had 3 saunas. I have one sauna that fits 3 people, right? So I thought, wonder if I could do something like that, and I would have people Like, if I had, let's say, 5 people, you listen to the audience and I have you come, and I put 3 people in the sauna, and I put someone in the cold plunge, someone in the hot tub, and then I kind of do my own version of that. But his was all day. I do maybe an hour.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because he sat around. He sat around he has a huge basketball court, and he sat around the basketball court and just did like a Q&A with people, right? Like, so if I was to literally copy that, and I do a Q&A with people, what am I going to talk about? What are you going to ask me?
What are you watching on TV?
It's like the live version of an Ask Me Anything on social.
It was really interesting if you're a fan of his name is Jesse Itzler, and I'm telling you, check it. If you don't know who he is, follow him, because there's all these motivational people, like even like Tony Robbins. Like, I don't want to put down Tony Robbins. I love Tony Robbins. You guys know I love Tony Robbins, right? But Tony Robbins tells you how to do stuff. This guy has done stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, Tony Robbins, all you know about him is he's always been a motivational speaker.
Right.
Like, this guy started companies, sold companies. His wife started a company, sold a company. Like, you know what I mean? So it's more like, it's kind of like those people that like go to school their whole life and then they go teach school.
Yeah.
On like but they never lived life.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. What's your bet? You have no experience in this. Do you know what I mean?
Is his house killer?
Well, we weren't allowed in.
Oh,
the rule you had to be.
That would be like your place if you did.
Come to my home. Oh no, not in my home.
Well, he lives in Atlanta and he's got several homes around the country.
Okay.
And this is on 800 acres in the woods. Ooh. So there was a couple of cabins. There were trails. Like,
okay, he's living the billionaire life.
You would sauna, cold plunge, hot tub, sauna, cold plunge, hot tub. Then you have this lunch that was amazing, and then we went on a 4-mile hike, and then we went sauna, cold plunge, sauna, cold plunge.
So then you stay in one of the cabins, or are you sharing it with other people, or are you by yourself?
No, nobody went into the cabin. You were there for the day.
Oh, and then you go back to like your hotel.
I went to my hotel
at
the Holiday Inn, the one that looked like it was right in the middle of where there's probably 30 to 40 dead bodies in the woods right there.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
You call the police, go, hey, I found everybody.
Just go on.
Everybody that's missing, they're right here behind
Go dig back there and you'll find. In fact, there was one time, so I'm still obsessed with my 10,000 steps, right? So when I get there on Wednesday night, I'm at like 6,000 steps, and I already went to Texas Roadhouse. And I walk in, when I get back to my hotel, I'm at a Holiday Inn Express, and I'm in the woods. Like, it literally looks like the perfect place for serial killers to hide bodies. All right. And it's dark. It's like, now it's 10 o'clock at night, which is 7 o'clock our time. Right. So I'm still alive and feeling good, but I need to get my steps. So when I go to the counter, I don't want to walk around the hotel. So I was going to ask the person at the front desk, is there a gym here? But there's a woman in front of me, and a blonde woman. She's by herself, and I'm not paying attention to what she's asking the person at the counter. And the woman goes and starts to. She's wearing like spandex, whatever, like leggings or whatever. And she walks, turns, and I go to the guy. I go, "Hey, is there a gym here? A fitness center?" He goes, "Yeah, right down the hall." So I go, "Thanks." So I start to follow, and it turns out I'm right behind her. Okay, it's dark. It's a scary place. She goes, she's going to the gym too. And I'm right behind
Those guys
her.
following
at 10
me.
o'clock.
And I'm wearing I haven't changed clothes. Like, I'm wearing my pants and a shirt and shoes. Like, I'm not dressed to work out, but I need to get my steps in like I do here. I figure I'll just get on a treadmill. It's a small gym. It's the size of Kyle's studio back there. It's how the whole gym. It's got some weights and it's got 2 treadmills. She gets on the treadmill. And I get on the treadmill next to her.
Oh, that's the worst.
So
I'm dressed in normal clothes.
She's like this guy.
Yes. So I'm like, I go, hey. I go, hey. So I'm trying to get my steps in. And she's like, uh-huh. And then she puts her headphones in, right? I don't have headphones because I came from the restaurant. So I just start walking on the treadmill. And I'm walking. And then I'm like, I'm on a Whoop. So I'm trying to connect my Whoop to the phone, and I have to hit refresh. And it takes a long time for the Whoop to connect. So now I'm at 7,000 steps. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just go for 10 minutes. I should be able to get there. 10 minutes goes by. Nothing.
That's not 2,000
half
steps.
an hour goes by. Half an hour. But it's not connecting, so I don't know where I am. So I thought maybe I'll do a half hour. 45 minutes goes by. Now I'm sweating, right? And she's still on the treadmill. And I can tell she doesn't want to be on the treadmill anymore. And it just hits me that she is scared to get off the treadmill.
Because you're going to follow her.
Because I'm going to follow her. Like, it's me, the treadmill, and the window to outside, right? And the blinds are closed. And I'm just walking, and I'm like, oh, my God. It hit me. I go, she's scared because she's like, I'm looking at her numbers because I want to see if I'm walking farther than her and I'm whatever, right? And I'm looking at her numbers, and I'm like, that's a weird Like, she should have been done a long time ago. Right? I can look at her and she's like, oh, there's this sicko next to me who's going to kill me. And I almost wanted to go, hey, do you watch Gone Girls? Gone Girl Long Island Murder?
Oh, gosh.
And it's like you're
What about these woods back here?
I was going to say you're in these wooden things, and that gives the man or the bear theory.
So
She's taking the bear.
Totally.
Yeah, 'cause
I hit refresh on my phone and it connects. And I now have 10,041 steps. I'm like, thank God. I hit stop on the treadmill and I get off and she takes her headphone out and she goes, have a great night. Like all energy like.
Yeah, she's-
like,
now she
oh,
knows.
he's not going to kill me.
Yeah, she wants you to know that she knows what you look like if something were to go
Right.
wrong.
But I get back, go back to my room and I call my wife and I go, hey, Blake, I think this lady thinks I was going to kill her. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, you know she's thinking, what's this guy doing working out at 10 p.m. in regular clothes right next to me?
Right.
And
Yeah.
I was...
And no, you basically followed her from the front desk.
Right. And none of that was on purpose. Like when she started to walk and the guy goes just right around the corner, I was as close as you are to Kyle, so I'm walking behind you. That's uncomfortable.
close. Yeah, it's
and it's in a dark hallway in a Holiday Inn Express.
Good morning. Wake up every morning. Start your day with Johnjay and Rich. I wake up with my favorite artist. And so that it's Billie Eilish.
It's Teddy Swims, and you're listening to Johnjay and Rich.
We're going to do some stacks and some hacks. Okay? In a new poll, 26% of people say it's been longer than a decade, 10 years, since they've written a handwritten letter. Anybody here? Handwritten letter? Anyone?
I write them all the time.
Thank yous. Yeah.
Look, okay, let's say different than a note. Like a letter.
I just wrote one with my daughter over the weekend.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Peyton?
I wrote them in college. I had a pen pal in prison that was helping me
You
with...
were in prison?
No, I had a pen pal in prison. And he was helping me with my senior capstone, so we wrote pretty often.
No, well, then you guys aren't part of the 26%. A new poll also found 2% of people think they can outrun a horse in a 100-meter dash. 27% of people are confident they can outrun a crocodile.
Let's hope so.
A man in Canada is fighting this ridiculous parking ticket. I saw this in the news. It's so crazy. So the city added a bus stop in front of his house overnight. He was parked there when it wasn't a bus stop. Then they put a bus stop sign, and then they gave him a ticket.
Oh, my gosh.
He was asleep. A man in New Hampshire walked into a Family Dollar on Saturday night, totally naked, only wearing a surgical mask. And he shouted, "Hey!" And then he ran out.
Okay.
Well, at least he's not getting sick. Got that mask on.
Cops are looking for him. A company is selling a stuffed animal called a Dino, which will snitch on all the things your kid tells it in confidence. It has built-in AI chatbot that records your kid's every word.
Whoa.
That's messed up.
Kind of messed up.
It is.
But also, as a parent, I would buy one.
A Colorado city is planning to limit residents' pet cats and dogs to 4 total. You can be grandfathered in if you already have more than that, but anyone who exceeds that number in the future will have their pets seized.
Oh, my God.
Seized.
Sheesh.
Chinese restaurant Chicago will give you free appetizers for life if you get a tattoo of their logo on your body.
Oh, that's pretty strong.
Appetizers? I want free food no matter what, all the time.
That crab
Entrees
ragoon.
and
That's
desserts.
And also, I got to make sure that restaurant's going to stay open. Like, what if they close down? What do you have for life hacks, Rich?
This is sort of a warning to you because we're do a little play school here. We're going to do a little scenario. Peyton, you answer the phone, and I'm going to be a telemarketer, and then we will discover the hack together.
Okay.
So answer your phone.
Hello?
Oh, hi. How's it going? I'm just checking with the neighbors. Do you have an alarm currently?
Yeah.
A home alarm system that's working?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then you hang up the phone. That's the
Yeah.
answer. So whenever somebody asks you on the phone if you have a home alarm system, say yes, because they are casing your neighborhood to see if you have an alarm system.
Creepy. Rude.
And if you say no, they're not going to sell you the alarm system. They're just going to come over to your house and rob your stuff.
Messed up.
So that's how the new break-in thing is checking to make sure. They don't even look now. Before they go to the address, they just call you up because they can get all the information and get information from you. Give nobody anything. That is your life hack. If you need more on that, it's at johnjaneRich.com.
Our phone number, 877-937-1047. The text line, you text JJR, whatever's on your mind, to 96893. Couple comments on the text line about the Couples Podcast. Peyton dropped it yesterday, her and Kadeem. 928 number. I'm currently listening to the Couples Podcast from yesterday. Peyton and Kadeem's dynamic are so similar to mine and my husband's. I really relate to them. My husband is also an Aquarius. He and Kadeem are so much alike. It was really nice getting to know both of you on yesterday's episode. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Oh, that's sweet. I sent the podcast to like our families, and it was kind of fun to hear their responses too, because it's like Kadeem, like and you get a little bit of him in the podcast, but like his personality shows out in little bits and pieces, which is really fun. But it was fun how they were able to dissect our personalities in the podcast. It was fun.
A 605 number. I think Kareem calms Peyton down. It was the most chill I've ever heard her be. Great podcast. Oh, and then they text again, Kadeem, LOL. Okay.
Yeah. He's definitely my Zen.
Yeah, so you go to wherever you hear podcasts, especially like the Johnjay and Rich On Demand podcast. That's where we drop it. We drop it every Sunday. This Sunday, is it you or me? It's me. Okay, it's Blake. Blake and I are going to do this Sunday's podcast.
Are you prepared?
You know, her and I got into a massive fight. Like we've had in our whole marriage a huge, like one big fight. I think I told you guys about it. It was something so stupid about leaving the Suns game early. We got into another one on Friday. It was totally different, and part of me wants to bring it up on the air here, but then I also want to bring it up on the podcast because it was so ridiculous. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm right the whole time. Like,
of course
it's me.
you are.
Yeah.
You're always right, Johnjay.
Anyway, so you can always text us. Text JJ on whatever you want to say to 96893. Okay, youth sports. What's happening?
I'm like deep into the sports mom era of my day. And honestly, like, I love it. I like driving my kids to sports. I like sitting at their games. I like chatting with the other parents. I've made friends with the other parents. It's a social time for me, and my kids are having a great time. It's a win-win all around. But Easton's doing 2 sports this season. So he's doing flag football and he's doing baseball. So pretty much every night of the week, we're at some sort of sporting event, and there's one rotating day of the week where we've got nothing going on. And those nights are great, but then the other nights are great too. So I've noticed a vast difference in the baseball parents and the football parents. And it almost kind of explains, because I've told you before, like, Easton gets really emotional during football. Like, if someone almost intercepted a ball in the game on Friday night that he was supposed to receive, he started crying. Like, he gets very competitive, and when things like don't work out, he gets really emotional. And
I'm sure that happens to Travis Kelce too.
Maybe back in the day, I don't know. Maybe he had a good, like, I'm trying to find a way to channel those big feelings into like his superpower, but haven't figured that out yet. But I almost feel like it's the parents' fault, because I've noticed, like, at the flag football games, those games are really exciting, and the parents cheer very intensely. Like, you're on one side of the field and you're rooting for one team. You're like, go! And then it's like, it's a lot of energy, and it's a lot of, I think, pressure for the kids. And the baseball parents are just so chill. Like, at the games, they're like, yeah, good job. And then they cheer good job for the other team too.
Right.
So if some kid messes up, it doesn't matter, because you're getting cheered from both parents. And I've noticed, like, in the baseball games, like, Easton does not get as emotional. And so I'm thinking, like, it's not
the crowd.
It's not him. It's the other parent.
No,
because if you think about it,
yeah.
So if the pass is if a pass for him gets intercepted, the parents on the other team are cheering, because essentially
their kid almost intercepted
could look
the ball.
at it like it was his mistake.
Yeah.
But it's not his mistake.
No.
It's the quarterback's mistake.
Right. Wow. But it's been kind of like fascinating because I'm really trying to figure it out. Like, I hate seeing my kid cry, and I don't like seeing him upset, but I also want him to learn how to manage his feelings, because that's a big life skill that you have to learn. Like, you can't just have a meltdown every time things don't go your way. You just can't. So I'm like, maybe it's the surroundings. Like,
I think
and
you're
that's
totally
like something
right.
totally
Yeah.
out of my control, so I don't know how to help him there.
Yeah. That's tough. And I can totally see that as like a former athlete in the pressure, but also as a coach. It's like, I think sometimes, parents, they want their kid to be the best. And so you don't even realize what's coming out of your mouth half the time, and how that can affect another kid who's just trying to be better at things. So I think that's always a good reminder that it's youth sports.
Totally.
Let's chill.
Oh my gosh. I took a picture at the baseball field just the other day, and I have to post it because it was like, it's such a good reminder for everyone attending any youth sports game. If you have like a dog in the fight or a kid in the game or whatever, it says reminders from your child. I'm a kid. It's just a game. My coach is a volunteer. The officials are humans. No college scholarships will be handed out today.
Yeah, no, that's so real.
That's really good.
It's so real. But
You know,
people are
another thing-
dedicated to their youth sports
Oh,
too.
yeah,
so-
for sure.
Another thing, though, like if he followed in his dad's footsteps and just golfed, then you don't have to deal with
Well,
a
he
lot
totally
of that, right?
could, but he also gets very emotional in golf.
Oh, he does?
So again,
I think
that
it's
ruins
good.
my
How about
theory that
chess?
it's the parents.
It's good that he cares so much, though. That's really good.
Oh, it's so
Like,
funny
what, if he
because
misses a putt, he starts to cry?
he gets so frustrated, and it's so funny because, like, Scott's like, buddy, golf's the hardest game in sports. Like, it really is. It's so difficult. Even the pros have really bad days. And, like, Easton loves Scotty Scheffler. Who doesn't? And he's like, Scotty has bad days. Scotty has bad tournaments. And he's a professional that's been doing this his whole life. So, one day, if anyone has been there with their child and they know the way around this or the right way to go about this, let me know. But until then, I just he's trying all the things. He loves baseball right now. Like, I asked him what sport right now is he enjoying the most. And he plays golf with his dad and he plays football and he plays baseball. And he's like, it's baseball. We had practice last night. Practice was over and the kids kept playing. They
that's
would not
great.
leave.
Oh, that's
That's
so
awesome.
fun. And they make
Not
bank
leave.
in baseball, so keep it up,
It's
Easton.
so competitive, though.
Hi, Sierra.
Hi. So I wanted to comment on Easton and being emotional. I have 3 kids. All of them play multiple sports. And I want to say that I don't necessarily think that it's what sport he plays, but the fact that he's a Gemini. I have a 7-year-old who is a Gemini, and she's very emotional when it comes to not getting her way. And that's kind of in all things in life, not just sports, but it's very hard to explain to her, like, you can't always have it your way. You're not going to win everything. And you kind of just have to, be happy for others when they win, even if you lose. So I want to say there may not be anything you can do about it.
No,
right now.
that was
That's
helpful.
actually, what? I've thought that a couple of times because I always describe Easton as if you get him and he's in a great mood, he's like, everyone loves him. But he's like the Hulk. When he's angry, you don't want to see him when he's angry.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally agree. My daughter is the life of the party, always center of attention. But it's like a flip of a switch, and all of a sudden, she's the biggest grump in the world. Don't mess with her. And there's nothing you can do to change it. It's you have to let her go through her emotions to get back to her happy self.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Maybe that's it. And, it's funny because, because I've become friends with the other parents and stuff like that. We had 2 games Friday night, and afterwards it was dinner time. And so naturally, me and the other moms, we kind of just planned a dinner. We're like, hey, let's all go together.
Best part of youth
Having
sports.
flashbacks.
I love those memories of being a kid.
I know.
Some of
I know.
my favorite memories.
I remember being on sports teams and my parents not going to the dinners, and I was like, I'll go to dinner.
Yeah.
So now I'm planning the dinners, and we're we get to the restaurant. There's this huge table. There's 4 couples, all of our kids, and everyone's having it. I'm having a great time, starting to chat. 10 minutes into it, I look over at Scott, and he had the most miserable look on his face. I was like, what's going on? And he's like, this is just too much. This is too much. There's too many people. It's too loud. It's chaos right now. And he does not he wants to go home and be alone.
Yeah.
I was
I love that guy.
I was just laughing. I was like, can you bring this guy a couple drinks?
He needs to get into the coaching, because I feel like his attitude towards that will change. He'll start to really love the kids, get to know the parents. I challenge him to
I've
that.
asked him to do that, and he's like, it's a 100% absolutely not.
Oh my gosh, you better change. He'll change his mind.
But I will say, he did have a couple of drinks, and then all of a sudden, he was chatty Cathy.
Yeah.
I was like, there we go.
All right, we got Kesha tickets in less than 2 hours. First, now get this. We're going to chat with Paulina. Now, apparently, she's having an issue with an ex. Things could get spicy. She's going to need our help and your help. So when you hear her tell her story, call and give her advice. 877-937-1047. She'll explain right after Bruno Mars.
Easy come, easy go. No, 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 no.
Johnjay and Rich, our phone number is 877-937-1047. So we want you to call in because I think Paulina needs advice. Good morning, Paulina.
Hi. Hey, guys.
What's up? How can we help you? You're live on the air. Good morning.
Hi. Yeah, I need some advice because I feel like I'm stuck in an awkward situation. I'm getting married in July, and I just found out that my ex-boyfriend is also getting married on the exact same day. And the problem is we were together for years, and we still share a lot of the same friends. I don't want to put people in an uncomfortable position by, like, having to choose which wedding to go to. So I reached out to him and asked if he'd be willing to move his wedding date. He said no, because they've already put down deposits and, like, locked everything in. And I get that, but I picked my date first, so I feel like he's kind of causing the conflict by keeping the same date. Am I wrong? Am I wrong for asking him to change it? Is he being selfish? Like, what do I do?
I think this is a tough one because I kind of feel like he can have whatever wedding date he wants. Right. And it's like, it's the position is just going to be put on your friends. They're just going to have to decide which one to go to. And then it might turn out to be a really great thing because then you learn who your real friends are out of the whole thing, you know?
Are you and your ex friendly?
Yeah. No. Not really. Like, we're not, like, it's not like we don't speak or anything. Like, me reaching out to him wasn't, you know,
no, but
a crazy conversation.
But I mean, to say I picked out my date first.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, if I was in my, okay, so what? Like,
right.
Good for you.
I think my response would be like, if it's a concern for you, then you should move your wedding date. I'm not concerned. We're not changing ours. We put money down. That's probably what I would say if you called me and said the same thing. And he'd be totally right because you're not dating each other. You're kind of done with each other.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's definitely, like, it's hard to hear. It's, like, harsh to hear, but I think you're right. Like, I shouldn't have asked him to change that. We are our own separate humans, and you know, I just feel bad for my friends. You know?
Totally. That's a weird position.
877-937-1047. What advice do you have for Paulina? We got Amy on the line. Amy, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Your thoughts?
Okay. Well, all right. Paulina, girl, I get where you're coming from, but look, you're asking your ex to move his entire wedding for you. I mean, come on, girl. That's wild. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but your wedding is not the main event of this year, okay? And it's not for him either. Yeah. I mean, look, you said your fiance, he put his deposits down. I mean, you know, his life no longer revolves around you. I mean, I know that hurts, but girl, you gotta wake up and smell the roses, okay? And look, your friends are going to figure it out, and you'll find out who your true friends are. Some might go to your wedding, some might go to his, and then, you know, you'll kind of have your answer, okay?
It's a marketing thing. You need to pitch something that you have fun at the reception. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but we have a mashed potato buffet bar.
They just try to one-up each other.
We have Cirque du Soleil for our entertainment. So, I mean, if you want to go to that wedding where all you're going to do is see people get married, that's fine.
Free puppies at ours. You want free puppies? You come to our wedding.
Go to yours. But don't stress. Don't stress over your ex's wedding. That's wild. Get an open bar. They'll go to yours. You're giving, like, main character syndrome, and, like, grow up a little bit. Let it go. Enjoy your day. Breathe. Touch grass. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Amy. You pick up John?
Yeah.
Hey, John. Oh.
Jan.
So I'm going to go along the lines of her ex's side, just because even though she picked a date first,
he's a man.
Not saying that it would not go through or anything like that, but I'll just say, like, who knows if what year, if they would actually go through with the wedding or anything like that. But her ex's side, they're not together anymore, and he put down the deposit first, so they're going through with it. So I think that she should just move the date.
You know what he's thinking, too? He's thinking, no way am I going to my fiance and saying my ex called me.
Oh,
and she wants to-
100%.
There's no way he's
Good
having
point.
that conversation.
Yeah, no, that's just setting fire on his end.
Yeah.
And
Thanks,
there's no
John.
way he's going to do that.
Appreciate it. Thanks for listening, man.
No problem. Yep. Have a good.
877-937-1047. I think also, if you're the one that has the problem with the date, then you change the date.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're Paulina, you're wrong for asking. It's like never hurts to ask. Like, who knows? Maybe he's like, oh man, we were actually thinking about changing the date, and then you would have had like it'd be great, but also at the same time, it may have been a little unrealistic asking.
Good stuff, Paulina. Thanks for calling in. I hope we helped you out a little bit.
Thank you so
and
much.
Good luck with the wedding.
Yes, you did.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great day. So the NCAA March Madness Men's Basketball National Championship is tonight. But this weekend, believe it or not, I watched a lot of basketball because my wife, quite frankly, I was trying to catch up on all my shows, but she had basketball on. And we were watching the Houston Duke game. And there were like 30 seconds left, and Houston was down by 7. And they came back and they won.
Amazing.
Right? I mean, it was nuts. I'm new to the sports world. And it was pretty amazing comeback. So I thought we'd just throw this out there. 877-937-1047. Does anybody have an amazing comeback story or an incredible glow-up story?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be sports, right?
No. Something on in your life. Maybe you failed at something over and over and over again, and then you finally made it. You finally did it. Like, what is your glow-up? What's your comeback story? Who in your life had the most epic glow-up or comeback? High school zero to reunion hero. Let's hear it. 877-937-1047. In fact, somebody even texted already that Peyton is having a hell of a glow up. How does that make you feel, Peyton?
Makes me feel good. It makes it feel worth it,
The rebrand effort is paying off.
Definitely. And I feel a lot more confident too. So that's important.
All right, so 877-937-1047. Let's just hear, what's your unreal comeback? Hi, Helen.
Hi.
What's your story?
So I back in 2011, I had lost everything. I lost my house. I lost my savings. I was pretty much done with life in general. I had been left with a 2-day-old baby. And as an entrepreneur, it was really hard to kind of get back on my feet. So I started looking and trying to connect the dots and figure out where did I go wrong and not see certain signs. And I realized that a chaotic brain actually impacts a lot of our decisions, that we think we see clearly, but we don't. So I started building a program, and it took me 14 years to be able to put the program together, get it scientifically validated, get it published in educational science journals. And today, in 2025, it is the first ever AI digital program that gives you your twin version of yourself, called TwinBot, that allows you to be able to get the best version of yourself that's emotionally regulated to calm you down and help you focus to reduce making any bad decisions.
Whoa.
Wow. Holy smokes.
Dang, you went all the way in.
So you're calming yourself down.
Yes, you are. Your own neural network is calming yourself down. I went back to school. I studied neuroscience and tried to put the pieces together because my life, I was abused for 20 years and didn't realize that I was walking through mud when I was actually thinking that I was seeing so clearly. So to anybody out there who thinks that you can't, you can. It took 14 years of blood, sweat, and tears. And as an ex-Montrealer who's living in Phoenix today, I have to say that the fact that it's in Phoenix and it happened is like the Phoenix Rising is so symbolic.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, so when you is it your own voice or is it text? Like you download the app and then you text yourself, I'm having a problem, and then you yourself gives yourself advice?
Exactly. So you basically go through this whole profiling process of answering all the questions. The AI puts together the assessment. It tags all the different points of where you've been able to find courage and coping and made the best decisions. And then you're like, you know how ChatGPT kind of like you can talk to ChatGPT, but it really sucks because it forgets all the time. This one remembers because it's you. So it's you talking to you, and it's calming you down while you're going through, like, don't send that text message, don't send that email.
What the heck?
Be careful.
What's it called again?
It's called TwinBot.
And you can download an app?
We're at the end stages right now because we had to train the AI to make sure that it was tapping into all the theoretical codes that we had done in the research, and we just finished our U.S. research in Long Island University in Brooklyn. So
how many people
we
are involved in this
ready
thing?
to launch.
How many people do you have involved in it?
I'm the one that built it, and I have a team of 12.
You or your AI?
You have a team of what?
Yeah. I have a team of 12.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
I kind of like I feel like I wouldn't want to, I don't know if I want to hear from myself. Don't tell me to calm down.
Yeah, your AI would be a procrastinator and be like,
you know what?
I'll get back to you after I watch a few shows.
If you watch Severance, there's an episode in the second season where one of the main characters argues with himself. It's kind of like that.
That's really cool, isn't it, when that happens? Yeah. Yeah, to be like, my twin bot would be like, why don't you go watch TV?
Go get yourself a little snack. Get some grapes.
What are you doing?
You like grapes?
Helen, congratulations. That's very, very cool. April, you have some sort of comeback or glow up?
Yes, I do. My son has always performed very well at school and won all type of awards. And we transferred to a new school that's a little more advanced. He's 10, by the way. And he was struggling and, really down on himself because he wasn't performing so well. And I am so proud of my baby because he's back on honor roll and doing amazing now at his new school, acing all of his tests to the point where his teacher doesn't give him certain tests because he performed so well on the practice test.
Whoa.
So I just wanted to shout my Jason out. We listened this morning, and this morning he was like, Mom, try to call in again. And so here we are.
Oh, that's awesome.
Such a proud mama moment.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Good
thank
job,
you, April.
Jason.
The text about Peyton's glow up, it says, I just found it. It's a 602 number. Peyton is definitely going through a glow up. Her eyebrows are gorgeous and her makeup and lashes are on point. I'd kill for those eyebrows.
That is so sweet because I literally used to get bullied for my eyebrows growing up because I had a unibrow. My mom was the one that was waxing my unibrow at like 7.
It's 7?
Yeah, she was like, that's not going to happen. Those girls said one thing to you once, never again. Let me get that for you, girl.
Here's a text about Kyle's situation with Easton. It says, crying in youth sports shows the kid cares and is competitive. Foster that. Don't snuff that emotion out. Also, if you think baseball parents are calm, you haven't experienced club yet. Everyone's going pro. And it gets insane.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We aren't at that level yet. So it just seems more like everyone's just like, hey, what's up? Yeah. So, yeah, you're right. But it's almost like almost every youth sport. I mean, Addie did competitive dance for a couple years, and it was like she was 6, and the parents at that point were like, I don't know what the parents were expecting. Like, they're going to be, Tate McRae's backup dancer, or what was the end game there. But, some parents get pretty extreme with, the outside training and the extracurriculars.
And the gymnastic parents, they're a whole new breed, too.
Every sport, I think you're going to get the parents that really want to, because parents see talent in their kids and they want to foster it, and I get it, but also it's like sports are so crazy competitive.
All 3 of my boys played sports, right? And I remember when they were playing baseball, 1 or 2 kids, I was like, those kids are playing in college, right? They gotta be. And now, I was just at a prom. Dutch had prom, and there was a party, which I'll get into at some point too. There was a party, and I saw some of the parents that I hadn't seen because they have younger siblings now, and they were going to prom. I was like, hey, how's so-and-so? Oh, yeah, where's he going to school? Where's he playing? Oh, he's not playing. Like, what? I thought the kid was
Well, yeah, but it's like when you get stuff like that and it's like so much talent, the pressure on you to be able to perform, eventually you burn out of your sport.
Well, what I'm saying is when you think you have this, that's how those parents are.
Mm-hmm.
That when you see that, but me, just as a dad, I was sitting there watching this one kid. I thought for sure this kid was going to be a baseball superstar. And he's not. He's not playing sports at all. And that happens a lot, too. As you get to the next level, weeds him out. The next level, weeds him out.
Right.
Weeds him out. And then the people that are just really, really passionate go and play. I think they say less than 3% of high school athletes play in college.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. Charles, good morning. You got a glow up?
I do have a glow up. It's about myself.
Okay.
More so of a comeback, I guess.
Works.
Than a glow up, whenever you want to look at it. So, I'm your typical statistic. I tell people by 13 I was smoking, by 14 I was drinking, by 18 I was addicted to cocaine, a high school dropout, and a convicted felon for trafficking cocaine. In my mid-20s, did a short stint of homelessness, got a DUI, and kind of just written myself off. But by my mid-30s, I was like, I got to change some things. This isn't happening for me. I hate the way I looked, all that good stuff. So I decided I was going to get sober. So I picked a date. One night I got blacked out drunk. told my wife I'm never picking up alcohol again. And I'll be 5 years sober in July from alcohol. The drugs has been years now. And we've recently just relaunched our apparel brand, which is based off of that story about overcoming obstacles and just turning your life around.
What's it called?
Oh, that's awesome.
It's called IAC Lifestyle. So it stands for Intelligence and Confidence, and it's lifestyle with a Y. So LYFETSTYLE.
That's huge.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
congrats.
Charles. Thanks for sharing that with us. Way to go.
Of course, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
See, there's like human versions of what happened. If you want to know what we're talking about, because the March Madness, Houston came back from like 7 behind at 30 seconds. It was so nuts. Here's a piece of it.
And it's over. A return to national prominence for the Gators. Florida will play for the national title. And what Todd Golden and the Gators...
Todd Golden. He's the guy from Sunny Slope. Freaking amazing.
...will be looking for now is a championship. It's no good. The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars. A furious comeback to knock off Duke and advance to the national championship.
A serious comeback, see?
Yeah.
And so we wanted to hear from you about your comeback.
Johnjay and Rich.
If you listen to our Afterwards podcast, I think it was about a week ago, we had the producer of another morning show in the studio, Lydia. She's a producer of Mojo in Detroit. You know, we're friends. We go way back. And they don't play any music. And I was just right now, I was like, we're playing Sabrina Carpenter. I have to pee so bad. And we've been, running 100 miles an hour this morning. And I don't know how they do it because I got to pee. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't. The Sabrina Carpenter song's 2 minutes long. It's not enough time to go down the hall and pee. We need to get a urinal in here now.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so extra.
Yeah, it would be.
Augustus Julius. Is that your name, Augustus Julius? Did I say it right?
That's my first name. I go by AJ.
Okay. So you have a glow up.
Yeah. So my story started over when I was 17. Unfortunately, I was in the bed of a truck with a drunk driver coming back from Bartlett Lake, and he flipped it going 100 miles an hour. And I survived, luckily. I lost my memory, and I broke my pelvic bone in half, so I couldn't walk for a couple months. And I say a couple months because I told the doctors, you're not going to tell me I'm not going to walk again. So I'm going to go visit my dad at Christmas, and I'm going to be walking when I get there. Long story short, after that, I became homeless, drug addicted to the, prescribed doctors, here, this is going to fix you. Then I ended up going to prison for 4.5 years because police in Phoenix tased me in the face, said I was resisting arrest. And then I got out into the pandemic, and I was just like, all right, I got to change something. Like, I got to do something with myself. And I ended up working for a couple of different sales places, became really, really good at sales, and then wrote a sales training book. I decided to myself, you know what? I think I'm going to make a business. So I went out there and I made my business, which is Performance Improvement Platform, LLC, local to Phoenix. And currently I'm a new published author. I just published my 6th book this morning. And I'm trying to do everything I can to get myself back on track. So
wow, that's amazing.
It really is.
Where can we get your books?
Amazon.com. The first one that I wrote is called The Breakdown, What You'll Need to Become a Top Producer. It's just kind of like how I made $250,000 for a company in 18 months, from not knowing how to talk to somebody to reading every single book you can think of on sales. And
Did your memory ever come back or no?
Sort of. I have to ask questions to people that knew me before my accident, because a lot of it is like, oh yeah, this is what happened to you. And I'm like, oh, okay, vivid imagination. I can see that in my head, but do I really have a memory, or am I just imagining what they're telling me? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, but it's come back, sort of.
No, it's a huge comeback.
All right, so your books are on Amazon. How do they find them? Like, is it Augustus Julius? Search that?
Yeah, you can search Augustus Julius Rasmussen. Like I said, my first book is the sales book. I made a kid's book called Lily and Urges, which is basically like an alternate, like multiverse version of myself having a daughter and what her adventure was. And her best friend, which is a superhero hamster from Pluto.
That's cute. Pluto Nash.
Then there's this one, which is like me, because I got type 1 diabetes now after coming out of prison, which is a weird phenomenon. And there's Managing These Darn Blood Sugars, book 1 and 2, trying to help other type 1 diabetics kind of understand what they are probably not knowing about diabetes. Then I have another book called Vix, which is about a little fox And then this last one is called Abundance Mindsets.
All right, those are serious glow-ups. So search Augustus Julius and go buy his books. That's a massive glow-up. And we're going to get some entertainment news. There's some stuff on Diddy, Mariah Carey, Russell Brand, Jack Black. We're going to get the entertainment news coming up next with Johnjay and Rich. Johnjay and Rich, I saw this headline over the weekend, but I didn't click and get any details about Terrence Howard.
Yeah, so Diddy's criminal trial, it starts May 5th. Cassie's going to be there. She's testifying. It's I think it's going to be televised, so think Johnny Depp trial, because that's going to be the fascination with this one, probably times 10.
I was going to say, I think even bigger.
Yeah, and more celebrities have started to come forward and talk about their experiences with Diddy. And Terrence Howard says he had a really weird experience with Diddy. And he just explained, at first he didn't really understand, and then his assistant kind of helped him out.
Puffy invited me, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to That's what my assistant said. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication.
Just cut it off. Didn't want the weirdness anymore. Didn't want to have anything to do with it. And in that interview, Terrence Howard actually went on and on about how anyone who went to one of Diddy's freak-off parties lost their man card. They lost their morality. They lost everything they probably ever stood for.
Because they participated in everything. So if you went to the party, you participated?
That's what he was saying.
Oh, man. I keep seeing these things on Justin Bieber, and I thought he's okay. Then I see he's not okay, and he is okay. Does anybody know?
I know. I keep seeing the same things too. And the latest is basically that somebody, an insider apparently from Hailey Bieber's church, says Hailey has just kind of given it to God. She's asking everyone around to just pray for Justin because he's so manic. He's not eating. He's not sleeping, which doesn't happen with a newborn baby as it is, but also everything, the demons that he's dealing with in his brain. And supposedly Hailey has just asked everyone in their circle to pray for him because at this point, only God can save him.
My heart's breaking for Justin Bieber. I am such a believer through and through. I saw something. So you know how Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco just dropped their album together?
Yeah.
I guess in one of the songs, Selena Gomez says, if I would have picked up one time, or if I would have picked up that one phone call, this wouldn't be happening. And apparently, allegedly, Justin Bieber called Selena Gomez 20 times on his wedding day to Hailey Bieber. And so everyone's saying that he's actually spiraling because Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez are
engaged right now. Did you see the post he made from the Lord of the Rings?
No, I saw his DM me if you want to make music.
Was it Gollum with the ring, that monster?
Yeah.
He said something. He made a post. I'm going to paraphrase, but he posted that picture of the person holding the ring, the ugly monster, and said something. I guess everyone's getting engaged.
Oh my gosh!
Like that.
Did he really? Was that actually him?
Yeah, and they're saying that it was a dig at Benny Blanco.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, because they used to be friends.
I know.
He literally.
But the balls, people aren't going to put two and two together with that one.
Well, of course they are. Yeah. So. Okay, so he's got the Diddy stuff. He's got his ex, living her best life and, on top of the world. And he's dealing with a lot.
That Diddy stuff might be really at the surface right now.
I think that's really the core of it. Yeah, and then you have this 7-part series on his wife might be stalking him. He's going through it.
Also, anybody see Minecraft?
Yeah,
No, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. I saw how crazy it was, though.
It was $157 million at the box office. It's crazy. I forgot that it was coming out.
Me too.
I have 3 boys: Jake, who's 22, Kemp, who's 21, and Dutch, who's 18. All 3 of them saw it. All 3 of them loved it.
I heard it was fantastic.
They said it was absolutely fantastic. It's on track to be the biggest game show or video game movie ever made.
Did you see
bigger than Super Mario Bros.
Bigger than Super Mario Bros.
Did you guys see all the kids getting arrested, though? Because I guess there's this one scene in the Minecraft movie where there's some big battle or boxing ring, and all of these kids who are going to see it are throwing all their stuff everywhere, and movie theaters are arresting the kids.
There's an after.
No, don't do that.
There's an after credit scene like Avengers movies that, oh my God, everybody went out. And I'm like, I said to my kids, just tell me the after credit scene. I don't want, and they told me, I was like, oh yeah, I can see this.
I want to go see it. I'm going to take my kids to go see it.
Do your kids play Minecraft?
Yeah.
Oh, they do? Oh,
yeah,
good.
They're in the total Minecraft.
So one of my boys went with a bunch of friends. Some of the friends don't play Minecraft. They didn't get it. If you're a Minecrafter, you are all over this movie.
Okay, so I won't get it, but my kids will.
Yeah, but watching them enjoy it. They said Jack Black. They said freaking Jason Momoa is just absolutely fantastic. And the McDonald's has got the Happy Meals.
Yeah,
So
the
my
Minecraft
kids are
Happy Meal.
22, 21, and 18, and they all got the Happy Meal.
Oh, that's what that was.
It's funny because I randomly was over at Johnjay's house yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We went to this Team Taylor walk,
Right.
and I had to park at his house because it's close to where the walk is. And I walk in, I'm like, that's like the hugest Happy Meal box ever. He's like, it's the Minecraft one.
My boy Christopher saw it twice this weekend. That's how much he loved it. So it's going to be huge.
That's
I mean,
cool.
it is huge.
While you're going through your Insta, make sure we're in your feed. Find out what's up at Johnjay and Rich.
I was sharing how I discovered Texas Roadhouse. Noah texted me, all caps, please, you have to try Texas Roadhouse Italian dressing on a salad. It's divine. I'm not kidding, and it's safe enough for my dad to find healthy options. He gets the kebab with Mediterranean rice. Very nice.
There you go.
They have like
It's
the best
divine.
ranch.
No one knows
Texas
his
Roadhouse ranch goes hard.
Last night's season finale. Well, it was the theme for the White Lotus. I was playing the theme because we're going to get into TV.
Oh, I wasn't talking to you about that.
Okay.
That wasn't it. No.
Okay. So, White Lotus season finale ended last night. I've been anti-White Lotus since season 1 because they described White Lotus as a comedy, and I thought season 1 was terrible. I watched part of season 2. I've watched all of season 3, all of it, and the season finale was last night. And Grant, who I kind of respect a little bit in the TV world,
A little.
because Grant's kind of artistic and kind of smart, right?
Yeah.
And he loved it, and I was like, I had this problem and this problem. He goes, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there were some glaring issues as
big
a viewer.
problems, I think, in
but
the show.
I think they landed it. I would say, arguably, like if you waited for something cool and something you expected to happen, you didn't get what you expected.
I can tell you this: the actors on that show should all win awards. They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
They're just phenomenal. Man.
There's something about that show. Now, I'm only halfway through. I didn't realize it was that long last night.
Hour and a half last night.
I ended up kind of falling asleep about halfway through. But it's so captivating to watch, and I can't explain why. Because it doesn't seem like a lot happens, but then when you watch the recap for the next episode, a lot happened.
I still don't like the show.
I didn't realize it was an hour and a half and just felt like time was moving very slow.
There's lots of montages. It's lots of establishing scenes for they've put a lot of fluff in it.
Showing a lot of monkeys in the jungle.
Yeah. And none of you guys watch it, Kyle Payton? You guys watch
No.
it? Yeah, I wouldn't. Now, let me tell you about the other show I saw. It's on Emma. It's number 1 on Prime because Jack Reacher was number 1 for a while. This new, I think it's called The Bondsman. Have you guys seen this yet?
No.
I just saw the preview.
It's Kevin Bacon, and he's a bail bondsman. And the first scene, he's going to bust into to arrest somebody, and instead he gets shot in the back, and they cut his throat, and he dies. I mean, it is violent. And I'm like, it's Kevin Bacon. Like, he's the star. He died in the first 5 minutes. And then they take his body and put it in a drywall, right? He wakes up. He's alive.
Ooh.
His throat is cut, and he's got a hole in it, and he's like, what the hell? He doesn't know what happened to him. And as things go on, you find out that the devil has made him alive, and now he works for the devil, and he's a bondsman, and he's chasing down demons that have escaped the devil. And he is blowing people away and chopping people up. It is so violent.
What the heck?
It's footloose.
That's cool. That sounds great.
It is crazy, man. And they get to the priests that are demons, and it's like violent. It's Blumhouse. You know the Blumhouse people?
Yeah.
It is violent.
It's not
violent.
a movie. It's a series.
It's a TV series. It's number 1 on Netflix.
All right.
Now, Kyle, did you watch Gone Girl?
Yeah. Gone Girls, the documentary on the Long Island murders. And it was really fascinating and so sad. And the fact that, there was this woman who went missing. Her name's Shannon Gilbert, and her mom just was relentless with the media because the cops weren't paying attention to her case because she was like a sex worker. And so they're searching for her. They find 4 bodies, and then they find another 4 bodies, and then they find more bodies, and come to find out, it all leads to a serial killer. But at the end, they still haven't ruled Shannon Gilbert's murder a homicide.
Right, it's crazy.
Which is wild to me.
All the evidence, or just all these people are dead. This body just happens to be dead.
The body just happened to be exactly where all the other bodies were, and were exactly where she was that night.
Too much of a coincidence.
What about at the end when you find the guys, when they go through his computer and they find the notes?
Yeah, that was the creepiest thing. He literally had notes to himself.
How to make himself a better killer. So dark. And about cutting off the tattoos, and he would cut off the head and the body parts.
He's like, more time to play.
Yeah.
I was like,
sick. I thought what was so fascinating, because I actually went and rewatched the documentary because I was like, this is insane. But do you guys remember those 2 guys guys who had saw him. He had came to the house.
Yeah.
I had thought that was so fascinating because they were like, we knew that it was this ogre-looking guy, and he ran away. They had his description down to a T, but no one believed him. But what I thought was so fascinating is, like, those two guys were a little rough around the edges anyways, and the fact that, like, you just know that they're probably just two little giant teddy bears that just want, justice for their friend.
Yeah.
I had thought that was so fascinating.
I know, and like they had the car, and the car's how they caught the guy anyway. So if they just would have looked into it,
and like the family moving back into the house. What
about the house?
So weird. The house. The house the serial killer lives in. He's lived in it since he was a child. It was the home he was abused in, and didn't change anything about it for years. It's like dilapidated, and he's working as an architect.
Yeah.
Like, it's
so I knew you'd like that show.
Everything about
Welcome
it
back to normal TV.
Thank you.
So what are you watching right now? Anything else?
I'm in the middle of finishing Severance. I'm on the last episode of the second season. And I feel like that's the only show that I've ever watched that, like, every episode during the season, I'm like, what am I watching?
Right.
Why am I still watching this? And then the last episode, I'm like, it's so satisfying.
It is, isn't it? It's like, I can't wait for the next season of Severance to come out. That still is in my head almost all the time. That and White Lotus are the two shows.
White Lotus is in my head. I'm so irritated by it. I can't get it out of my head. Plus,
like when you were irritated with Lost, like that kind
no,
of? No,
I think I don't know if they still call it a comedy, but season 1 they called it a comedy, and it wasn't funny, and I brought that up. This one is not by far not a comedy.
No
but
jokes.
There was like problems in it that I have, and then you can't help but watch it. And go, what if this happened? I mean, you can't. It's just a little makes you think a little bit.
I've heard it said that it's more of a social satire than it is a comedy. See, that Grant would understand that.
Yes. The other show that I'm watching, and I'm very much influenced by, is called Dope Thief. Have you guys seen that yet?
I've seen episode 1.
It is fantastic. They have dropped 4 episodes. It's action-packed, just like Breaking Bad. In fact, at some point, if you guys watch season 3, I am currently dressed like the star of episode in season 3. He had this jacket on. I was like, I have that jacket.
I took inspo from him.
Yeah, the only thing I don't have right now is a gold necklace around me, and I'm not black. But other than that, I look exactly like the guy.
2 major things, but okay.
I realized it this morning how influenced I am by television and their fashion, because I was like, oh my God, I have that jacket, and I'm wearing it.
You just realized this
Well,
morning.
when I put on the jacket, I looked everywhere for this jacket. I go, I'm just like Dope Thief. Everyone's going to go, you dressed like Dope Thief today? Nobody said anything yet.
Not when you scoured for Ben Affleck's jacket or the same pants as Mark Wahlberg. No, now you realize it.
Will Smith. I have Mark Wahlberg's hoodie, Kyle.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
We got Kesha tickets. It could be yours. You got to win ADD Trivia. 877-937-1047. We'll play after SZA. It's Johnjay and Rich. Johnjay and Rich. All right, we're going to play a game. What game we playing, Grant?
Oh, brother, we're playing ADD Trivia today. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. Everybody excited?
Yeah.
All right, now, if you guys know...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, okay. Well, all right. Well,
I'm getting ready to pick up the contestant. I was going to say, this is hi to Monique. Good morning, Monique.
Good morning.
You are playing for Kesha tickets.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
All right.
Well, if you guys know me and anything about me, you know I'm kind of the basketball guy on the show. I'm Mr. March Madness, as they say. Welcome to April. So we
You're
are
March Sadness.
That's right, brother. So we're doing all March Madness theme first round, and then we're going to go back to traditional ADD trivia for the second round. Sound good to everybody?
Yeah.
All right, March Madness round 1. ADD trivia, Johnjay Van Ness. Are you ready, brother?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is the traditional sport of Japan?
Traditional sumo wrestling?
Look at that, Johnjay. Hey now. Nice job. Rich Barra, what sport has a what sporting event has a very strict dress code of all white?
Oh, you're talking about Wimbledon tennis.
There he is. Nice job. Wow, you guys are quite the sportsman. I like it. Peyton Whitmore.
That's what everybody says.
According to me, Mr. Basketball, the greatest night in basketball history happened in Michigan in 2004 involving the Pistons and the Pacers, and it is best known by what name? Peyton Whitmore.
That's the big fight.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, it's like there was a documentary on
There
it.
was.
Oh my God, what is that called? The battle, the fight. Dang it!
I'm gonna need an answer
I don't know
here.
the name of it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Anyone want to steal?
It's called like Mayhem in the something, right?
You're all so close.
Mayhem in Motown?
Incorrect.
Coliseum, something in the Coliseum. Chaos.
The Malice in the Palace.
Alice, such a good documentary.
Great name.
Yes, indeed. Okay, no points for Peyton.
That's okay.
March Madness, ADD Trivia. Are you ready, Kyle?
Yeah.
All right, Kyle Unfug. What is the Bush's Baked Beans dog name?
Benny.
Ooh, incorrect. Anyone want to steal March Madness themed?
Bulldog.
March.
Incorrect. I was looking for Duke. He's got the secret recipe.
Yeah,
Duke's
okay.
not telling
I
anybody.
see what you did there.
Yeah.
What a letdown from Duke.
I know.
Monique.
Yes.
Round one. This is ADD Trivia, March Madness style. This kind of happened in March, but not really. What restaurant blew Johnjay's mind this weekend?
Oh my gosh.
They have steak.
Was it? I want to say the ocean one. No, because that doesn't sound like it has steak. Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I feel like it's at the tip of my tongue.
I'm going to need an answer. 3, 2, 1. What's the answer?
There. A steakhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
Texas Roadhouse. Close.
Oh my god.
All right. So after round one, we got Johnjay and Rich on the board with 1 point. Moving into round two, Johnjay Van S. Khloe Kardashian finally gave the world what we all needed and wanted in January by launching a podcast. What is the name of Khloe Kardashian's podcast?
Oh God. Khloe Talks.
Incorrect. Anyone want to steal?
Keeping up with Clo.
Nobody's listening? Surprise.
I didn't even know she had a podcast.
Right? It's called Khloe in Wonderland.
Okay.
Chloe in Wonderland. Rich Barra. Rich. What is the most common last name in the United States?
Gotta figure it's Smith. That's my first guess. I'm gonna say Smith.
Nice job, and you take a commanding lead with 2 points, Rich. All right, Pete Whitmore. Are you ready? What art form is described as decorative handwriting or handwritten lettering?
Calligraphy.
Nice job, Peyton, on the board. You got a minor in calligraphy, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Nice, dude. Kyle Unfug. Kyle, what planet in the Milky Way is the hottest?
The hottest.
Hottest.
Okay, it's probably, you got to go Mavemshnump.
I knew you were going to do that.
Probably the
Very good.
closest to the sun. Mercury or Mars.
What?
One of the M ones.
Vavemshva?
It's like how you remember the order of the planets.
Right.
Mavemshnump. It's from Saved by the Bell. I'm going Mars.
Incorrect.
Oh,
Was it Mercury?
No, it was not.
What?
It was Venus.
Oh, I had
Yeah, the
Mercury,
surface
too.
of Venus is apparently hot enough to melt lead. I don't know if you guys knew
It's
that.
hotter than Mercury.
Well, I
Yeah.
thought it was
I mean,
Mercury.
Which is closest to the sun.
Closest to the sun.
According to Google and JohnJaneRich.com, Venus is the hottest in the universe,
well,
guys.
I feel like
do a
we've
fact check
I feel
on
like we've
that.
had this question and debated it before on this
Why
very
would it be
show.
on JohnJaneRich.com?
Everything's on JohnJaneRich.com. Go there and check
So
it out,
it's
guys.
the hottest. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. What's the hottest planet?
Hottest planet in the Milky Way.
Oh, look, I said, is Mercury hotter than Venus? I said, no. Venus is hotter than Mercury. While
know.
Mercury is closest to the sun, Venus has a very dense atmosphere that traps heat.
Okay,
Look
there you
at
go.
that.
Look
Science.
at us, little space lesson
We're
today.
learning stuff. I love it. Monique.
Yes.
All right. You can win it all. This one's worth 4 points. Rachel Ziegler plays Laura in the new movie Y2K, which is very good. I recommend it. It's on HBO Max. But Rachel is best known for playing what iconic and controversial role?
What was it from the West Side Story?
Something new just happened.
Oh, the Snow White.
There she is. Nice job, Monique.
All right, Monique, hold on. We'll set you up with those tickets, okay? Tickets to go see Cash Up. Hold on the line.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so awesome. I love you guys so much.
Thank you. I put on my ChatGPT. I go, what is the hottest planet in the Milky Way? And it's still thinking.
Whoa. That's wild, dude.
Turn that
Because it knows
sideways.
the Milky Way doesn't actually exist.
Yes, dude. The simulation. Welcome, everyone.
That's weird.
That's so weird. Anyway, let's go on to 3 things we need to know, Kyle.
Research has now spoken, and they have the best age to get married. So this should be interesting to you, Peyton. I'll tell you what it is next with Johnjay and Rich.
Johnjay and Rich.
Call the show at 877-937-1047.
Hey, Allie.
Hey, I wanted to talk to Johnjay about his Texas Roadhouse story.
Speaking.
Okay, I was a roadie at Texas Roadhouse for 2.5 years while I was in nursing school. So I kind of wanted to just talk to you about what happened.
Oh, okay. Tell me. That's cool that you guys are called roadies if you work there.
So every Texas Roadhouse employee is called a roadie. It's great. I love the company. They're super awesome. Shout out to the Gilbert location off Power in the 202. James is the owner there. He's great. Lindsay's his managers. They're awesome. If you ever want to go to a good Roadhouse, go to that one. They're always busy. Always get on the wait list. Every single Roadhouse will be like wait list of like hour and a half, 2 hours. Always get on the wait list if you want to beat the. Also, it's really weird because I've been to other Roadhouses too, where they're like, oh, yeah, you can go pick your steak, this, that, and the other thing, too. You can do that at every single Roadhouse. Some of them have people who come in and cut the steaks before shift starts, especially like the one I worked at because we were such a high-volume Roadhouse. But you still can pick your steak. I'm wondering, though, what time you went in. Did you go in, right when they opened at, 3 or 4? Or did you go in, late at night at, 8 or so? Or did you tell them it was your first time there? Because a lot of times, if you tell them it's your first time there or you go in when it's early enough, they will, say, oh, hey, well, you can come over here and you can pick your own steak. And they'll do all of that stuff because you don't necessarily know that that's stuff that you can do.
I went to the one in Georgia. It was 8 o'clock at night, and I didn't say it was my first time here, but I think I looked it. I walked in oh. Now, the one I went to the other day was the one over in Scottsdale by the White Castle. You know that one?
Okay.
I was at that one, and that's the one where they didn't, and it was, I think I went there for a late lunch. So they were,
right.
It had to be 1 or 2 or something like that. And I just got right in. I mean, I put my name on the list, but there was nobody there.
Yeah, and it might have been because too you were you probably looked like you weren't from there and you never been, so maybe they were kind of
I was the only one.
A lot of times,
I was the only one in Georgia not in camo.
Okay.
Oh, that's
He's
still
not
popping.
from around here.
I also had sleeves on my shirt.
you probably should have packed appropriately then and took a pair of water boots or something, or at least a fishing pole, so they knew you belonged. So. Right. But yeah, so that's sometimes a thing. But even the servers, at the Roadhouses, the servers don't necessarily always seat you unless it's in the beginning of the shift whenever they're filling tables because they're helping the girls up front seat the tables. And so a lot of times the servers will ask you too, hey, there's a steak counter if you want to go check it out, that type of thing. But when it's during high volume, they literally get you in, get you sat, get you going because you're hungry. You've been waiting so long.
It was great.
Get you the heck out of there.
The server was great. Everything was great. The food was amazing. The bread was amazing. The steak was amazing. The side. And then I said, I didn't see the green beans. And the server goes, let me bring you out a sample tray of sides.
That's the best platter. I love getting that at
And the mashed potatoes were some of the best mashed potatoes I ever had. They were right up there. I said to Blake, next time Thanksgiving, we got to go somewhere with mashed potatoes. We come here and get the mashed potatoes.
I know. Now I'm craving Texas Roadhouse.
It's so good.
Over the weekend,
I went to the peppercorn sauce at all.
I don't know. I tried a lot of stuff. But
You'll have to try the peppercorn sauce next time. Sorry, Peyton.
No, you're totally good. I want to try the peppercorn sauce too. I was just going to say how I went to this coffee bar shop area this week in Central Phoenix, and I got this espresso martini, and the bartender made this whipped cream, but it literally tasted like the butter for the bread at Texas Roadhouse. I literally it was so gross. I was sticking my finger in my martini, and I'm getting this whipped. This sauce is amazing. It was so good. It was so good, but it literally tasted like the butter.
Yeah, and you can always get rolls to go home too, Johnjay. tell my customers, I'd be like, you have to take them to Blake. Don't be mean.
No, they're too good.
so
They're like each roll is 283 calories.
Yeah,
I had 4 of them.
That's so real. When I was in college,
I used to give them some.
Our coach, when I played D1, our coach wouldn't let us get the bread when we were out. And, very toxic environment over there. She wouldn't let us get the Texas Roadhouse bread. So we would always ask the server in our to-go boxes to sneak in the bread, and we would just eat them in the back of the bus.
I can't believe I'm just discovering this place.
Yeah, it's like
so
when you
good.
figured out Amazon was a place that delivered like last year.
Yeah, like the first time you went to Costco.
Hey, have you guys heard of this Walgreens?
TJ Maxx.
Also, Allie's saying, I didn't know that they're individually owned. I figured it was like a corporate thing. There's no way that you could individually own them.
No
franchise.
Oh,
no,
look
yeah.
out.
When I first started, we had one owner, and he retired, so he basically sold all of his stock shareholder
want
stuff
one.
to anotother owner.
No, don't do that.
And
That's not for you.
He moved. Yeah.
Wow.
That's not for
Honestly,
you.
if you did a Texas
Queen
Roadhouse,
Creek.
you would do
Rich
well.
needs to own one in Queen Creek. Queen Creek, go.
That's
Just
good.
down there.
You want me to buy a Texas Roadhouse? I could just go eat there. That's going to be way
I would
cheaper
love
for
it
me.
if you bought a Texas Roadhouse, Johnjay. That would make my life.
All right, Allie, thank you so much for calling in. You roadie.
No problem.
All right, bye-bye. Kyle, what do you got for 3 things we need to know?
The Pew Research Center asked a bunch of people around the world about the best age to hit some big milestones in life. And it made me think of you, Peyton, because you're 26 right now. And apparently all the Americans in this, on average, people said the United States put 26 and a half as the best age to get married.
Better get after it, woman.
So you're 27 in a few months, right?
I'm basically 20. I was 26 and a half in February. So
Just past 27 was apparently the best time to become a parent. 20, almost 29 was the best time to buy a house, and 62 was basically the best year to retire. So
the pressure is definitely not on after hearing that.
No, because I think the best time to get married is when you and your partner are actually ready. That's me personally.
I don't think you're ever ready to have kids. That just happens, and you just got to deal with it.
And then you adjust, yeah. So apparently receding hairlines are suddenly sexy. I've never seen White Lotus, but apparently on White Lotus there is a character named Walter Goggins that fans are claiming he makes the receding hairline hot.
He's the actor.
It is the phenomenon that even has a name. They're calling it the Walter Goggins effect. So experts are so funny because they're like, it's more about his riz. It's more about his charisma. You know what I mean?
How
the
he
way he carries
This is him.
himself.
This is him. This is what they're talking about.
Yeah, he needs
Yeah.
to let it go.
No, it looks good. He
time
looks
to
pretty
shave it
damn
off.
good. He's one hell of an actor, man.
Oh, yeah, he's good in everything.
This is a woman who went viral because, and I'm wondering what you guys would do in this situation. She's a little torn of what to do. Her ex-boyfriend has asked her to reimburse over $25,000 because he contributed to household expenses in a home she owned. Throughout their 7-year relationship, he put money towards her house. The woman said that when she first started dating him, he was in debt. She paid less than $800 a month towards expenses and rent. And she's like, that's basically it. So why do I need to pay him back anything? So I'm like, he would have had to pay rent anywhere he went and wouldn't get reimbursed from doing it to his landlord's house. So I'm like, probably not going to work there, but just bizarre.
Yeah, and I mean, you're paying for things for the comfort of your home as well as your girlfriend. Like, no, that money's gone.
Yeah.
Don't be like that. Don't be bitter.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Just goodbye.
Count your losses or whatever.
And that's 3 things you need to know.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.